Score full marks at first interview. I'm going to share with you 3 techniques which will help you to have a successful first interview and to score full marks with the interviewer. These 3 techniques are to make sure you've got a short description of yourself, bridge building, and then thirdly, when to stop talking. Before I share with you those techniques, let's just recap as to what an interview is. I describe an interview as a conversation of 40 to 60 minutes, so you've got a time limit, and the person interviewing you has got a series of questions or a series of things that they want to know about you. So it's actually quite an unusual situation. Sometimes the interviewer might be less prepared and more nervous than you are. So it's your job to help them understand why you're a good fit for the job. It's your job to give them as much information about yourself as you can. It's your job to help them. The first technique I'd like to share with you is how to describe yourself. So what I'm suggesting is that you prepare a 30 to 40 second description of yourself. And this description should conclude with, and I'm here for interview today because, and then list the reasons that you're interested in the job. So a 30 to 40 second description of yourself, ending with, the reason I'm here today for interview is because, and then list the reasons why you're interested in the job. That sounds easy, but you'll need to practice. This is probably one of the best tools that you can take into the interview. You can use this when the interviewer is unprepared and hasn't got the right sort of questions, and they might ask you a question that's a bit of a time waster, like, tell me about yourself. You can then use your short description, it gives them a bit of thinking time, and you're back on track, and the interviewers reminded themselves of what questions they really need to ask. You could also use this short description towards the end of the interview as a bit of a summary when you're asked more tricky questions like, why should I hire you? Why are you interested in the job? And questions of that nature. The second technique I'd like to share with you is what I call building bridges. This is your responsibility to build bridges between you and the job activity. Make connections between your skills and the skills required for the job. Make connections and links between your aptitudes and the things the company are looking for. Now, sometimes you might need to crowbar this into the conversation a little bit, so give yourself some opening statements that help you to do this. For example, it's not on my CV, but, and then describe an example of when you've done something that isn't on your CV, but you know is important for the job that you're applying to. There are things on your CV that you want to emphasise for the job. There are things that are not on the CV that you want to emphasise that you have as skills to offer. So you must make sure that you get all of this information into the interview. I strongly suggest that you write these down in advance, perhaps type them up so it looks tidy, and take them to the interview with you. It is perfectly acceptable to have notes in front of you at the meeting. It shows good preparation. It also helps you to give all of the information to the interviewer. Technique number 3 is all about knowing when to stop talking, which might seem strange because you're in an interview, but it's really important. Remember what we said earlier on, an interview tends to be 40 to 60 minutes, and there's a certain amount of information that the interviewer is trying to get from you. So, when you're asked a question, try and give a 2 to 3 minute answer. Let the interviewer move on to the next subject. If they needed more information than you've already given to them, they will ask further probing questions. You're avoiding rambling on, you're avoiding filling time, and you're enabling the interviewer to get their questions across to you because they might have quite a long list. It's all about being time effective. So practice giving short answers, maybe 2 to 3 minutes, so there's plenty of time for detail, and then enable the interviewer to get back into the conversation and to steer you towards the next topic of interview questions. So let's quickly recap those 3 techniques. First of all, have that 30 to 40 second description of yourself, which finishes with, and the reason why I'm here for interview today is, etc. Make sure that you're able to build bridges between you and the job opportunity and take the notes with you into the interview. And thirdly, think about the conversation and know when to stop talking. I hope that's helpful. Good luck at the interview, and if you'd like to know more about preparing for an interview, please give us a call or visit the website.